Hello, my name is Inez Turner, and today is May 4th, 2021. I'm here to share with you my interpersonal communication plan for my class HS 508 Studies in Interpersonal Communication, Liberty University with Dr. Cook. Slide 2 Overview Interpersonal Communication, Introduction and Background, my behavioral blend, my DISC profile, communication patterns, personal communication barriers, goal and strategies, implementation, becoming a thankful communicator, conclusion, and references. Slide 3. What is interpersonal communication? Communication is about connecting with people. God has given us this opportunity to connect with people through our communication. Great interpersonal communication Great interpersonal connect begins and ends with gratitude from a grateful heart. This is from Dr. Schultz and Dr. Baskinski. The right to freedom of speech is essential as air, food, and water. This is to tell how important our communication is. When it is categorized as essential as food, air, and water, it's to show you the importance of communicating with others. Patient is important part of interpersonal communication. And my support is coming from 1 Colossians 1 verse 11. It says, patience is Christian endeavor, being strengthened with all power in accordance with his glorious might, so that you may have great endurance and patience. In communicating with others, many of times it's going to take endurance. And so the Bible tells us to be patient when we're communicating. In slide 4, I will tell you a little bit about Inez, Inez Turner. I was raised in a Christian home in a little island of Jamaica. I am the second of 6 children and the first to graduate from college. I am a former Olympian, participate in 5 world games, indoors and outdoors, championship. I'm a bronze medalist as a member of the Jamaican 4x400 meter relay team, first woman in the English-speaking Caribbean country to ever win gold at the Commonwealth Games, the only athlete, male or female, to ever got inducted at the Wall of Fame at the Penn Relays, and of course, 15 times CIAA Coach of the Year. In slide 5, I will talk to you about my behavioral blend. We did our assessment online, and it shows that I'm a people's person. I love crowd and love to be around people. I'm equally comfortable with large or small crowd. In slide 6, it talks about my behavioral blend. It shows on the graph in graph 1 that I am high on the I'm high on as an IS. I will go the extra mile for others. I'm an overachiever. Takes time to trust others and to open up, and that is coming from my Uniquely You assessment that we did. My supporting verse is coming from 1 Corinthians 15 verse 58. And I will go on to slide number 7. Talks about my uniquely my who this is me. I show I on as a CS, more passive than active, tend to be more reserved than outgoing, people oriented, but prefer to be behind the scene, often make friends by providing a listening ear, and I concur with that. Um, I will go on to slide 8 that talks about my communication patterns. My upbringing contributes to my outgoing personality. Growing up with 5 young ladies, making friends from all over the world through athletics, Christian patterns, my parents who always help with neighbors, my behavioral blend, and that is helping. That is what helps me to be a good servant and a good leader, I would say. I will move on to slide 9 that talks about my communication barriers. I love this class, and thank God for this class as I learn that I have lots of communication barriers and misinterpretation, lacking understanding of cultural differences, rehearsing, which means formulating a response instead of listening, mind reading, thinking that I already know what the other person is going to say, interrupting, taking over someone's conversation, competing, one upping other persons with a better story, reacting, letting anger, hurt, fear, or shame hijack my brain. And this is coming from Dr. Barker on our week 7, on our module 7, week 7 video presentation. I will move on to slides 10, and it's a continuation of my personal communication barriers. I want to talk about all my communication barriers as it will help me in the future. The other one is ritual listening, acting as if I am listening attentively to the speaker when I'm not. I understand. I learned that I can be perceived as fake person because I am saying that I understand others' pain. Listening and giving the same respect to other people as they give to me. Asking for one word to say yes or no. And I will move on to slide 11 that talks about my goal and my strategies. My goal is to improve my listening skill and become a more patient and active listener. Patiently and quietly listen to my talker whether it's be my client, family member, or a co-worker. Focus on what is being said. Avoid interruption and wait my turn to give a response. Use face-to-face conversation more as possible, as I believe being traditional in the traditional communication pattern of face-to-face definitely will help our listener to see that we care and that we understand. Moving on to slide 12. I will for sure my implementation is I would definitely make sure that I incorporate the talker listener card that is outlined by Dr. Peterson. This is a marvelous piece of information that I will carry me throughout. It shows that, the talker and the listener, they know their role, and I will for sure make sure that I bring out this type of tool when it comes on to our conversation with others. And on slide 13, I find someone to show the ways of interruption. On slide 14, it talks about becoming grateful communicators. As someone who is in the human services field, we ought to understand that we're here to encourage, advocate, listen, being a storyteller, forgive, and to challenge. And with so doing, we will definitely go the God's way of helping our brothers and sisters. And in conclusion, I want to say serving to the highest level of God's calling is a blessing that will fill one's heart with a sense of immense satisfaction and achievement. And all my sources are coming from um, slide number 16 and 17, and I will for sure keep those sources on and on to help me in my endeavor. Thank you for listening.